It was past midnight when Aisha dragged the last of her boxers into the new apartment. The rent was suspiciously cheap, a price that made you question the plumbing or the neighbors, but she didn't care. It was all she could afford. A small victory in a long series of defeats. The landlord, a pale old man with hands that trembled like leaves in a storm, handed her the keys. His voice was a dry rustle. "Just one thing," he said, his eyes avoiding hers. "Never open the door at the end of the hallway after midnight, no matter what you hear." He left without another word. Aisha just chuckled. A ghost story to go with the peeling paint. How quaint! She wasn't the type to be scared by spooky tales. Exhausted, she unpacked the bare minimum to make the place feel human, and finally collapsed into bed around 1 in the morning. That's when she heard it, a soft knock, so faint she almost missed it, echoing from down the corridor. Tap, 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 tap. Then came the whisper, a sliver of sound that crawled under her door. "Please, open the door. It's so dark in here." Her heart hammered against her ribs. Every horror movie cliché screamed at her to stay put, but curiosity, that treacherous friend, pulled her out of bed. She tiptoed down the hallway, the floorboards groaning under her bare feet. And there it was, plain wooden door she hadn't even noticed during her quick tour. It looked ancient, sealed. She reached out, her fingers brushing against the doorknob. It was ice cold, a stark contrast to the stuffy air in the hall. The whisper came again, this time right by the keyhole, intimate and terrifying. "I can see you, Aisha." She snatched her hand back as if burned. Cold dread washed over her. How did it know her name? Sleep was impossible after that. The first rays of morning light felt like a rescue. She ambushed the landlord as he was collecting the morning paper, demanding answers about the voice. His face, already pale, turned a sickly shade of gray. "That room," he stammered, his gaze fixed on some distant, terrible memory. "It belonged to my daughter. She passed away in there 20 years ago." He swallowed hard. "The last tenant. She was a young woman, just like you." She opened the door. "We never found her body." The warning hung in the air all day, a suffocating presence. That night, Aisha barricaded her bedroom door with a chair. But she knew it was a useless gesture. As the clock struck midnight, the whispers returned, louder this time, filled with a desperate, pleading hunger. "Please, just one look. I want to see your face." Aisha buried her head under the pillows, her body trembling uncontrollably. She hummed. She tried to think of anything else, but the voice seeped through her defenses. It was changing. It began to twist and warp until it morphed into something truly monstrous. Her own voice, screaming from the other side of that door. "Aisha, help me. I'm trapped in here. Let me out." Her own voice, crying for help. It was a psychological torture she couldn't endure. The sound of her own terror, weaponized against her. Unable to bear another second, a primal scream tore from her own throat. She scrambled out of bed, rushed down the hallway, and without a second thought, flung the door open. The lights in the apartment flickered wildly, then died, plunging her into darkness. The only light came from the moon, casting a sliver of silver into the room. It was empty, save for a single object standing in the center, a tall, ornate mirror, its surface cracked and clouded with decades of dust. Drawn by an unseen force, she stepped inside. The air was frigid, smelling of decay and old perfume. She moved closer to the mirror, peering at her own reflection in the dim light. And then she saw it. The reflection was smiling, a wide, triumphant, predatory smile. But her own face, the real one, was frozen in a mask of pure horror. The world tilted, a dizzying spiral of darkness. The next morning, the landlord used his master key to check on the apartment. The silence was unsettling. He found it completely empty. Aisha was gone. Her boxers, her clothes, everything. It was as if she had never been there at all. Only one thing was left behind in the room at the end of the hall. A dusty, cracked mirror. And if you listened very, very closely, you could hear a faint, desperate whisper from within the glass. Please, don't leave me here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another journey into the dark. Stay safe out there.